Hey, this is Captain Banzai out here today with the Viltrox speed booster that goes to EF, and that goes to an adapter which goes to M42 with this Pentax Super Takumar 50mm f1.4 lens. Forgot my strap, or I couldn't find it. I'm gonna try to work with that. It is a heavy setup. It would have been nice to have a strap with me. So what we get here is 0.71x plus the crop. You have to get a weird calculation out of it, but it gives us more of the field of view of this lens back where you put on a full frame sensor. With this setup, we're getting about that much of a close focus distance. One thing to think about is if this EF adapter to M42, if it does work with far focus. I don't know, I'll find out, I guess. Something to consider with these, because you are pretty close with M42 and EF. I'd have to look at the numbers to see how many millimeters. It is very thin. I wasn't sure it was going to fit it at first, but it worked out okay. The M5 has a decent amount of grip, but without a strap and this heavy front end of the lens plus the speed booster is a little precarious. I did buy a few other manual lenses that we'll see in future videos. M42 lens, Tamron Adaptol, and then I got both the Adaptol to EF and Adaptol to EF-M, so that might be interesting if I find other lenses will do something similar to this. Peaking is nice for things you don't need to care too much about the exact focal point. So if you're trying to do manual focus with people, that would be pretty challenging in my opinion. Depends on the lens. But with stuff like this, I don't need exact, perfect focal points. When you're doing things like this that are really close focus, small subjects, using manual focus with peaking is just as easy as trying to use autofocus sometimes. Even with decent cameras, autofocus won't be perfect in some situations where you got that tiny subject. So in this case, manual focus is just fine. I'm actually maxed out on aperture here. It's bright enough that with this specific camera at 1/4000th of a second shutter speed, it is too bright. And no ND filters at this current light level. I'm not going to be testing the different vignettings on those apertures. With these Canon 24 megapixel APS-C sensors, you have to be pretty careful with your exposure. If you go too much one way or the other, you won't get an amazing photo out of it. But it does have a little bit of latitude you can mess with in post. This Endurax bag is working pretty well. This is the smaller piece that goes in the actual backpack. It has Velcro on here, You can open up and use the zipper or not use the zipper. I don't have anything else that's important in here, so I wouldn't be concerned about it. Getting leaves in the photo with blue background is a really nice combination. I'm going to use this combination again. I wasn't super thrilled with the photos. I think it's related to not being able to focus exactly where I want, but in this case, I'm going to try it again, see how it works with the Viltrox plus the Takumar 50mm f1.4. So far I'm using f2.8. I think I need to switch to blue peaking. It is super challenging trying to use manual focus in bright conditions, the small viewfinder, trying to zoom in, do multiple things at the same time. After 2 photo outings, I think I got a handle on using this setup. It's very heavy. You have extra glass in there, which probably doesn't help image quality. If you already have the speed booster and you have some M42 lenses, you might want to think about getting one of those adapters. You have to be careful because the back element of this lens might be pretty close to the glass inside the adapter. Keep that in mind. You don't want it to touch because that would be bad. In this case, I think it's fine. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Scott from Banzai. If you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing, likes, shares, and now the applause feature helps out a lot as well. Thanks again.